This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss, Paulie Howard with you live in rainy Las Vegas, Nevada, downtown at the Circa Resort and Casino. Big program lined up today. Awesome guest, Chris Felica, 30 minutes, college football, bets and futures. Jonathan Davis, incredible angles on the NHL. Paul Stone, best bets, college football. And Derek Stevens, who is the owner and the CEO of this great property, he's going to be on his weekly Tuesday appearances at 6:30 Eastern Time. And I can imagine, Paulie, it was a bloodbath for this book and every book across the city, and the way it sounds, pretty much everywhere last night based on that result with Monday Night Football. And the Cowboys look good. The Raiders, get them off primetime. I can't stand watching this team. They're pure garbage.
Absolutely. As I said a couple weeks ago as well, how was the adjusted win total 4.5? It's still 4.5, heavily juiced to the under. They're going to win 3 more games. It also says a lot about where the Browns are at, and definitely the quarterback position, that Las Vegas is a 3-point favorite on Sunday. Just a kind of I'm going to do the exact opposite game plan with Chip Kelly and start throwing every single down.
How about that?
And not give the ball to Genty at all. Incredible how bad they were, and they couldn't get much done offensively. And Genty has 6 carries for 7 yards.
So he was, and I saw this on making the rounds on social media. Pickett Sports tweeted this out. For some context here, Genty was minus 5,000 to have 20-plus rushing yards in the game. Think about that for a second. It's so bad right now with this team, and it goes back to the draft. I mean, clearly, they're so bad in the offensive line, it doesn't matter which. It could be Jonathan Taylor, it could be Prime LaDainian Tomlinson, it could be Emmitt Smith.
Yep.
None of those guys are going to look good behind this awful unit that they have going right now. And then on top of it, you have a quarterback who can't play and should be sitting down. But Pete Carroll, who's also doing a terrible job with his team, won't bench him because he loves the guy.
Right. How many times have we called for Pickett? I don't understand.
Over and over again.
What does this guy have to do to get benched?
Yep.
I know, it's incredible.
For example, let me point out one coaching thing that happened last night on the failed punt return by Tucker inside the 5-yard line. I mean, that's as bad as it gets right there. Then they take a penalty to move him back to the inch line, right? So it's one thing after another. It's snowballing. And then with a guy that can't get an inch the entire game, and the story of the year has been as soon as you give it to Genty, here's 3 guys hitting him in the backfield. Let's run it with him 5 yards back in the backfield here and see what happens rather than like a quarterback sneak. Just all of it is just as bad as it gets, man.
Yep. Carroll's done a bad job. I'm with you. And also the defense stopped something, right? You're getting gashed on the ground. Lamb's wide open. Should have been 5 touchdowns for Dak.
Yeah.
Pickens is wide open. How about the yak that Pickens has? That he feel free to tackle somebody too. So that is just, and then it was almost like the mercy rule. Who takes a knee before the 2-minute warning? I know you have the Schottenheimer-Carroll angle, which they talked about several times, but that was just like, okay, I feel so bad for you. I don't know how many coaches, I don't know how many times I've seen that watching football for 47 years.
This is going to blow your mind. So not only did it happen last night to the Raiders, when it took place, a VSiN fan named Joe English, who we met before, good guy, right? Southern California. He tweeted me, would you believe that's the second time this year the opposition has kneeled before the 2-minute warning against the Raiders? And he added, they should be embarrassed. Guys need to be getting clipped. I responded and I said, was it the Indy game? Because remember, they got absolutely blasted in that game. And
40 to 7 or something, right? Okay. I don't recall.
So that's where my brain went. He goes, no. The Chiefs game. I'm like, the Chiefs game. So it happened twice. Game. It could have happened at least another game against this team.
Wow. That is just the ultimate. I feel sorry for you. And I don't want to run it up.
That's exactly what it is.
Right. And that's just how about the landing spot? The total opens 51, closes 47.5. We're stuck there on 49. After they pass on the field goal, Lamb's wide open for the touchdown. They drop it, and then they have 1st and goal inside the 5, and they take the knee.
Yeah. And I know people who got bad numbers, by the way, they bet over 49.5, and they were livid.
Yeah. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Vicious beat.
Well, first of all, and then, but for it to go, because it actually got, at South Point, it got to 47 right before the game, I believe. So then it goes over 47, 47.5 with the safety. That's what you need to go over. And then, but because of where it opened up, like you said, and how that number moved, it depends on when you were betting this stuff. I mean, that's that to close like that. Yeah, people were not very happy with the Cowboys taking a knee and feeling sorry for them.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they don't need to score anymore. They never even had a fight on their hands last night.
Guys were wide open. It was a good in-play game as well. You could have laid whatever in play, and you didn't have to worry about it. Because what they did offensively, they were just gashing them and getting whatever they want.
To your point, Paulie, you brought this up. Raiders in the first half. Geno dropped back to pass 32 times. Genti had 2 rushes. Mostert had 1. That was the game plan overall in the first half, and I know that you had that bet on Genti to have 5+ yards. That's a reasonable bet. 5+ yards against a bad, what was a bad Cowboys defense going into the game? 5+ yards in every quarter. He couldn't even touch the ball, basically, in the first quarter or for the game.
Yep.
Now, how much of that was the Cowboys actually look good after the bye? The moves they made at the deadline, Quinnen Williams, hello, paid off last night? Or was it just all Raiders are so bad, I can't give the Cowboys much credit?
Now, that's the appropriate question. The other one is human emotion as well.
Okay.
And how fired up they were to win for Neyland. They wearing the shirts and how jacked up they were.
That's fair.
But that was, I guess we'll find out Sunday. And the total has come down 2 points. As I said yesterday, how can a total be this high in an Eagles game? But it looked good defensively. You're also going against a lousy team and organization. As much as we rip the Cowboys and Jerry Jones, rightfully so, as we talked about, the Raiders have 2 playoff appearances in the last 23 years. It doesn't get enough attention. It's a joke, and how bad it's been since they've moved to Las Vegas.
No, they can't do anything right.
No, right. And actually, the guy who took them to the playoffs, no chance for the job. Bisaccia actually did a good job.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Good call.
They could have beat the Bengals that year, and the Bengals in that playoff game, and the Bengals went to the Super Bowl. But we're going to find out, and it's a little juicy now because you still look at the back end of the schedule, and suddenly those look like wins with the Cowboys that they could get, and the line just came out. They're only a 3.5-point dog at home against the Chiefs on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I like the Eagles Sunday based on how great this defense is. You watch the Cowboys. Some of the stuff doesn't make sense. How do you lose at home to Arizona? You couldn't move the ball. You couldn't stop Carolina and lost 30-27. But, it's not crazy to think maybe at the back end they could do something here if they can steal. Now, it's the first time in history this has happened. They show it on the broadcast. It's Eagles, Chiefs, Lions. All 3 teams won 14 games last year. So this has never happened before.
Oh, where the same team plays them back-to-back to back?
Right, back-to-back, right. It's going to be difficult, but if they can steal one, then you think, hey, maybe Vikings, Chargers, Commanders, Giants, that's doable. I can maybe do something there.
Well, how about this? If they beat and they upset Philadelphia on Sunday, then I think you're talking about a possible playoff team here with the Cowboys. Now, that's easier said than done, and that's a huge if, obviously. But if they could somehow knock Philadelphia, and I get it, the NFC is absolutely loaded. But to your point, I mean, I think they can beat the Chiefs. Why can't they? The Chiefs are an average football team at this point, and those other games on the back end of the schedule, like you talked about, could they sneak in? God, could they be 10-6-1 and get in? That also means one more loss, and that's it.
No.
Ugh, boy.
Well, 10-6-1 will do it, but I don't think that's.
That's probably not going to happen.
No. And that goes back to how big that play was with Jordan Love, where they got the tie. I mean, if they win that, it's a whole different ball game too. And you're also talking, you'd have the tiebreaker over the Packers. So still, it's a big price for them to sneak in, and we'll see if maybe these trades can work out. But you see when they're clicking and firing on all cylinders, how dangerous that offense.
Well, they're loaded,
There's
man.
plenty
on
of
offense.
weapons.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Yeah. And Pickens turned out to be a good move.
I mean, how many teams in the NFL have better weapons overall than Lamb, Pickens? Look, I would not have said this before the season started, but Javonte Williams is playing. He's having a hell of a year, bounce back year for him off the injuries, obviously. And then Ferguson at tight end. Like, that is there are teams, obviously, that are better, but not many. Like, that's great. Dak's playing really, really well. And if the defense, if they would have been buttoned up at the beginning of the year, there's no way they'd have this many losses.
Yeah.
But again, that's woulda, coulda, shoulda. I'm also, I thought the Raiders were going to be a bet-on team before the season started. And somehow that team defeated New England in week 1. I don't want anything to do with this team. Where are the points coming from Sunday when they play the Browns?
Yeah.
They're going to score against that defense? And Shedeur Sanders is going to go for Cleveland? That's a no touchdown game right there.
Yeah.
but it'll probably be like 50-1. And that's definitely like a no touchdown in the first half and a scoreless quarter between those two teams. I can't even...
Yeah, that's a 37.5 total now.
If you did the... if you made a list of the pros and cons with this team right now on the roster, I don't know how many pros you can come up with. Obviously, Max Crosby's going to make the list. Brock Bowers is going to make the list. Is that the list? Is that the whole thing?
Yeah, you're throwing to Tucker, and he just picked up Lockett. That's who you're throwing to after the Myers trade.
Right.
And it's just other than Bowers, I know.
I
how
can't
bad
even.
it is. There's no hope for the future because I have no confidence they're going to fix the quarterback position and get a franchise quarterback, and the draft is awful. So it just goes back to, and this is the best discussion you can have because these people, this righteous indignation, have no clue how much damage it does to win meaningless games and hurt your draft position because it screws things up for your draft and you can't get the quarterback you want.
Yeah.
And that's why they're in this situation too every week, or every year rather. And there's a 36.5 on the game now as well.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not going to write off Genty because again,
he doesn't have a chance.
Every single time they hand it off to the poor kid, here's two guys immediately getting to him, like 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Nobody has a prayer against that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd really like to see what he could look like maybe against a really good offensive line. But that's, again, how far off are we from the Raiders having that? And then I thought Carroll was going to be a good, stopgap. Retire.
Yeah.
Start all over again here with the Raiders. I'll tell you what the SEC has to stop doing as soon as possible. They've been doing this forever, and it's happening again this weekend coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
If you're serious about football betting, VSiN's got your weekend game plan. Fridays at 7 p.m., it's the Circa Friday Football Invitational. Saturday morning, VSiN's College Football Tailgate Show at 9 a.m., breaking down matchups, props, and big-time bets. Later that night, join the Football Contest Show as the sharpest betting minds give you their picks for Sunday's game. And Sunday at 9 a.m., lock in with Mitch and Paulie on VSiN's Pro Football Tailgate Show. Your final stop before kickoff. Check out the full lineup at VSiN.com and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
Hi, everybody. Jensen Lewis here, co-host of VSiN by the Books with my guy Dave Ross. Tune in tomorrow as we recap a big night in college basketball, react to the latest edition of the college football playoff rankings, and continue looking ahead to Week 12 in the NFL. We'll be joined by Tim Doyle to talk hoops, Adam Burke, our managing editor, and, of course, our best bets from Wednesdays with Wes Reynolds. VSiN by the Books, Wednesdays, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Follow the Money on VSiN.
Thanks for watching the program today on YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM Channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our great affiliates across the country. Chris Felica on the program coming up in 15 minutes. We'll talk college football with him at that point, get some bets for this week, maybe a yes-no playoff bet on him, his take on Miami, and where they should be in the overall pecking order of making the playoff. I'll start with this. I remember when Twitter was only a couple of years old. I want to say that it's around 2010. And I sent out a tweet at the time because I went and I looked at who the SEC was playing this exact weekend, and it was just embarrassing as always. And I think there were like 7 games involved with SEC teams playing, like non-Division I teams. And they were all favored by an incredible amount of points. And on average, the SEC that weekend was favored by more than 30 points before the final game of the regular season.
Yeah.
Now, they figured this out a long time ago. Nobody would do it, though. Nobody would stoop to this level of playing teams that are such inferior opponents to them that it's so bad this week that 3 games featuring teams at the very top of the SEC are off the betting board because they're extra games. That's how bad it is. I can't find a number on Samford at Texas A&M, Eastern Illinois at Alabama, and nor can I find a number with Mercer at Auburn, Paulie.
They do an incredible job manipulating the media and also the schedule.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of, the Texas nonsense from Herb Street and others, and what I mentioned yesterday when they're 15-1 to make the playoff and how they do this, and they treat it essentially as another bye. You're getting ready for your one of the biggest games of the year, and you have a bye before it with this cupcakes. So, what I say many times is just, repeat the lie over and over, and people will start to believe it. Oh, the grind, the toughness. Oh, boy, week in, week out. But the other teams should do this. Other conferences do the same thing.
Yeah, I blame the other conferences for doing it and never stooping to this level. I really do. Like the Big Ten years ago when they were not winning titles like they are now, they stuck with their ways and they would never play the Mercers of the world on November 20th. And by the way, if LSU was any good this year, they're laying 22.5 at Western Kentucky. Typically, this is a game where it'd be in the 40s. Actually, a little bit of money on Charlotte. Charlotte is so... What are they doing on Georgia's schedule right now? Come on.
Yes. Georgia Tech on deck. I know. After they just played Texas. What a spot. You get a cupcake and an easy win. You don't have to work. You can play the starters one quarter. It's good enough.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. So, Georgia, there's actually some money on Charlotte because the Bulldogs were 44.5. Now here at Circuit, it's down to 43. But it's driven me nuts now for 15 years, and it's...
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Paul Feinbaum has a problem with it. That's how bad it is.
Does he really?
Yes, he's been saying it for years.
I was unaware of that.
Yeah, we can agree on that. It's a horrible job by the conference. And Maction tonight, speaking of horrible, UMass in action. Adam Burke today, VSiN.com, his lowest power-rated team since he's been doing this, UMass. 0-10, just got trucked last week by Northern Illinois at home. There was actually money for UMass in that game. Ohio laying 33.5. Some people making the case for the team total over. Ohio can run it up on them. 33.5, why not? As UMass has only been competitive in 2 games the whole season. And all 3 games go on at the same time. But I'm not going to put you off laying 34 if you want in this game with how bad UMass is.
Think about this. With a Maction contest, Ohio opened up 29.5 at DraftKings. Not nearly enough points according to the market.
Yeah.
Now 34. A MAC team is laying 34 points. Yeah, I would say UMass is absolutely bottom of the barrel all-time power rating-wise.
Yep. It's the final game of the year for Akron. Interesting spot here. Their season will be over on November 18th. They're catching 3 against Bowling Green. A lot of people making the case for the dog here. Bowling Green at home in a 46.5. That's a tough one. I have no opinion. But the big one to me is it's right there for Western Michigan. That the Broncos can make it and get in the conference title game. And it's an easy path, doable path, rather, as there were 6.5s out there and now 7 on the road. Again, a bad job by the league that all these games are at the same time. In any event, 39.5 the total there. And I would think that Western Michigan could get the win and cover, but there's so much on the line.
All right, earlier today, Lane Kiffin poo-pooed the idea of an ultimatum that he has to make up his mind by the Egg Bowl if he wants to come back to Ole Miss or not.
Well, he's lying.
I would think so, right?
He used McAfee today to get his message out there.
Right.
The exact opposite is the case.
Well, Chris Fleek is the perfect guy to ask about that.
Yeah.
He's going to come up again in about 10 minutes here on the program.
And good timing. I'm glad you brought it up. I had to. Brad Powers made the point, and I think 11, 12 to 1 on them to miss the playoffs is an interesting bet. Number one, they still have the Egg Bowl left on the road. He makes them a 7 to 9 point favorite in that game.
Okay.
I mean, Miss State beat Arizona State and had Texas down 17.
They have a great resume when they're at home.
Rivalry game, right? Plus, this is a whole distraction. Is he even going to be the coach by that point?
Oof.
I mean, all these reports, I trust Forty and McMurphy and all these guys and Stuart Mandel that they have told him and his agent, we want a decision before the Egg Bowl. Are you going to Florida or LSU or are you staying? And whatever they offer you, I doubt this, but whatever they offer you, we're going to match. We need to know. And now he said what he said today, and I think he's full of it. There was reports family members were at Gainesville, other family members were at Baton Rouge. So what Jimmy Ott told us, that if it's a bidding war, LSU's going to win it.
Yep.
You want to make this guy the highest paid coach in history, be my guest. Okay? I think we know how that's going to turn out. But again, this is wild that I can say this. He will not coach the team in a playoff game. That will not happen.
You're pretty convinced of that, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if they're putting a deadline up with the Egg Bowl, and once you're getting into the playoffs in late December, that's not happening.
And you found 11 or 12 to 1 for this team to miss the playoffs.
Yeah, that is at FanDuel, and Brad found 13. I don't know where he saw that, though, but that is also available. And it makes sense. I mean, if he's going to make the game, 7.5, whatever it's going to be on the road, and then you have all this distractions, and is the guy even going to coach the game? And a rivalry, they can lose that game. Absolutely, they can.
Sure, they can. And overall, on the year, they're 10-1. So would a 10-2 Ole Miss team be out of the playoffs?
Yes.
I'm not so sure about that.
Oh, well, it depends.
You got to get 12 teams in.
Yeah, yes, I know.
Right, you got to squeeze them in somehow.
Yeah, so you're okay. I'm assuming there isn't chaos, but the chaos would help them out. But we only have 2 games left. So I'm saying if you see, we're already at 5. This is going to be interesting tonight. And Felica is really getting momentum with this Miami Notre Dame thing. I mean, everyone's on his case now in the media when you're looking at these articles, people who cover the sport. If we're already at 5 SEC and the Big Ten's only going to get 3, then you got Notre Dame, ACC winner, Big 12 winner, likely Texas Tech, might only get 1. The group of 5, I mean, are we going to go 6 then SEC? I mean, you already have it gift wrapped where you're only going to get likely 1 Big 12 and 1 ACC. Then group of 5 Notre Dame. To me, there's your 12 right there after what Oklahoma did such a big one. But if Oklahoma would stub their toe, if there'd be another upset, that would really help out Ole Miss. But I still think Oregon would be okay if they take a loss.
Well, okay, so here, this is where you really need to be a fly on the wall in the conversation that the committee is having about this team. If Ole Miss loses in a rivalry game to drop to 10-2, and Lane Kiffin is no longer their coach, that ties in.
Yes.
Will they look at that as being such a key denominator to the team that they can't put him in the playoff? The example would be, well, how much is a coach worth to a team compared to like a quarterback? Remember, Jordan Travis out for Florida State a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. Undefeated Florida State, keep him out of the playoff. Yeah. Quarterback position, too important. Well, how important is Lane Kiffin as a head coach? Would the committee actually say at 10-2, the resume is there, we need to get 12 teams in? Ole Miss absolutely has they have a chance here to get in and maybe a good resume, but we can't do it because we don't know who the hell the coach is going to be.
I agree with you and I disagree with you. I would keep them out with that. That's too much uncertainty and you lose your head coach. I don't think the resume's strong. The win at Oklahoma is good.
That's a nice win. That's a really nice win.
You blew the Georgia game, and you shouldn't have let that get away. You're up 9 in the fourth quarter. South Carolina, bad year. Citadel, Florida, down year. LSU, down year. Good win against Tulane. It would help them if Tulane would somehow get the bid, group of 5. Arkansas fired their coach. Kentucky, down year. Georgia State. There's not a lot of meat on the bone. Yeah. Don't lose to Mississippi State.
And let me throw this out there as well. Like last year's Ole Miss team was so much better than this year's team.
I agree with that, too.
And yet they missed the playoff. This team could obviously make it. I just think the very top of college football is not close to recent years anyway. And maybe that's going to be a thing moving forward because of the portal and because everybody moving around so much. I think like in previous years, Paul, you'd come up with at least 1, 2, 3, maybe a bunch of teams in recent years that were obviously like maybe even like a touchdown better than any of these teams this year. I think it's a pretty weak field at the top.
I agree. And there was some other people were making the case for a Notre Dame no bet, too, with this Miami thing and how this is gaining momentum. That's a big price as well. By midseason, the lines get sharper and every edge matters. That's where VSiN Pro comes in, giving you the insights and data. They stay one step ahead every week. Every best bet, every host, every guest. The DK and Circa betting splits. The AI-powered prop tools, 24/7 video, and replays on the Watch app. The college basketball betting guide. There's always something going on. You could go Vancouver, 10 straight overs. The Jaguars, Indianapolis in action tonight. Start betting smarter today, $9.99 or save 50% with an annual plan. VSiN.com/subscribe.
All right, we're going to get into a lot of that with Chris the Bear Felica coming up next. He's going to join us. We'll talk college football. He'll break down why he thinks Miami should have a great chance to get in right now and how big of a distraction will it be with Lane Kiffin.
Sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to VSiN.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the Money on VSiN.
More college football here. Absolute pleasure to be joined by Chris the Bear Felica here on the Progressive Guest Line with Fox Sports and also the Bear Bets podcast. Bear, good afternoon. Thanks for the time today. How you been?
I've been great. As I was lamenting with you guys in break, I'd be better if a couple of weeks ago I didn't have the 3.5-point swing in the Superbook college football contest where the leader had West Virginia and Vanderbilt, and I had Auburn and Colorado. So, we fell from 2nd to 6th right now at tie. So 2 weeks, 14 plays left, and we'll see if we can climb back up and get into the mix.
Well, go get them, man. Yep. Best of luck in the next couple of weeks then with that. We were just talking about the Ole Miss situation before you joined the program, and Lane Kiffin today said, ultimatum? What are you talking about? That doesn't exist. Are you buying that? How big of a distraction do you think this is going to be in the next 10 days?
I think it is going to be a distraction. I think this Egg Bowl game is super dangerous to begin with. It's a Mississippi State team that really, the Georgia went in there and blew them out, and they kind of laid an egg in the second half at Missouri. But rivalry game, a double-digit home dog, which I was surprised to see. He's gone. He's not coming back to Ole Miss. Based on what I have heard and been told from people who kind of close to the situation, he is leaving. I don't know if it's LSU. I don't know if it's Florida, but he's not going to be back. And the players are going to know this. They're obviously going to try and keep it under wraps. That there probably will be some type of agreement. But you know what? If they do make the playoff, I'm not pushing them out the door. Give the team the best chance to win a playoff game. You're going to get a home game and do what you can. But I think there is going to be a little bit of a little bit of an issue there. I think players are going to know, and we've talked about in the past, when these playoff rankings come up and you see where you are ranked and the pressure is real, it affects people. And you look at Ole Miss, if they lose this game, they're 10-2, and you beat Oklahoma, but after that, LSU and South Carolina are nice wins in terms of power rankings, but the committee's not going to look at them like great wins. So if I'm Ole Miss, I strongly suggest you go to Starkville and win that game, because you do not want to be put in that cluster of 10-2 non-champions like Miami was last year when the Hurricanes got left out.
Yes. Okay. So you're getting a lot of momentum here and a lot of traction with your tweets. Now, I've known you I've known you for a while. You're very objective, even though you went to Miami. I remember talking to you last year, and you're like, "Get out of here! You're out of your mind. Miami doesn't have a chance. They're not taking them. The defense is terrible." So you tweeted it Sunday, and then you have Dan Walken, who said it'd be the most egregious error the committee could make if they ignore head-to-head. Do you think this is so bad that we're going to find out tonight that if they're both 10-2, Miami has to be ahead of Notre Dame?
I sure as hell hope so, and I wonder, I actually sat here earlier today and was like, am I in the wrong here? What am I missing? Am I being too egregious? Am I overlooking something obvious? And I don't think I am. I think the committee has them ranked where they are simply because of the losses. And Miami is being treated like losses on the road to a 7-3 SMU team in overtime and a 7-win Louisville team on the final win. They're being treated like those losses, I think, are BC and Stanford. That's not the case. It's Notre Dame is getting more benefit for playing Miami and losing than Miami is for actually beating them. Yeah. And I think that's been pretty consistent. If you look at some of these rankings, Utah hasn't beaten a soul all year, but they lost to BYU and they lost to Texas Tech, and they're ahead of Miami. So it's the committee, I think, is valuing these losses more than the actual wins. And it's amazing to me. Look, I know it was week one, but why would you ever consider playing a game like this if you win the game and ultimately in the end, it doesn't matter? That's the object is to beat your opponent and win. And maybe Notre Dame has gotten better, and maybe if they play again, Notre Dame would win, but we don't know that. And I am curious tonight to see how this Texas Vanderbilt dynamic goes, because how far is Texas going to fall? Because if Texas falls, then that kind of has to drag Vandy down a little bit, because Texas did beat Vandy, even though they do now have the third loss. I would still, if I were making bets in the college football playoff right in the market right now, I'd be betting no on Ole Miss just because of the price, and I'd be betting yes on Miami just because I think the path is there, that I think if they win their two games, They're probably going to get some help with the Big 12 championship game, and maybe Vanderbilt loses to Tennessee. And then you're really going to see the committee start to bring that head-to-head into play.
Yeah, great call. And by the way, they can't pick and choose when head-to-head matters to them.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
That has to be a deal. It's either that it means something, or like you said, never play these games then.
Yeah, and I think that's why I think they're gone a little bit too far. Like, I've always been like, play the game, and if you lose it, it shouldn't be like a mark against you. It should be like, okay, they lost, but it's really not a loss. But it doesn't mean ignore it for the team that won. And that's what we're going to see. Like, the Alabama-Georgia thing really doesn't come into play because there is a difference in record now. So I'm really curious to see this. The Oklahoma-Alabama thing now, obviously Oklahoma-Texas, Oklahoma-Ole Miss, like how this all comes into play, I'm curious to see.
Are you baffled by the Texas love? And they're 15-1 to make the playoff. And the timing is just what's so bizarre. After they just got handled by 25 points.
I'm not baffled by it because a couple of weeks ago I was there saying, hey, a 3-loss Texas might actually have a chance. But I think with the circumstances that you have now, where you can't even have a Miami who beat Notre Dame head-to-head be ranked highly, and you got a Utah team who hasn't beaten anybody as highly ranked as they are. If you go back, if you look at the strength of record components and stuff, like Texas has 4 wins over teams that like are in the top 11 there. And that's carrying a lot of weight. And they did play Ohio State in the non-conference. So that's why I'm really curious to see how far they drop. Because even though we don't necessarily, like, you're Texas, you should beat Vanderbilt at home. You beat Oklahoma without basically a healthy John Mateer. And then you lost to Ohio State, and you got blown out last week in Georgia as well. So like, I wouldn't put them in. I kind of draw the line at 3 losses when you have other really qualified 2-loss teams. I don't think they're going to get in. Like I said, I did bet them a couple weeks ago at like plus 175 or plus 180, maybe expecting some of these other teams to lose, and they seem to escape with wins in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, I can't make an argument for Texas to get in right now. No.
Yep.
Okay.
You mentioned Ole Miss. Can you make a case then to take the no on Notre Dame at 11-1?
Yes, I think you can, because if we see that gap, and I have not gone through the bylaws and the criteria of the playoff. You hear things like they only take the head-to-head into play if you're within 2 or 3 spots. That gap's going to continue to shrink. And I think as you hear week after week after week of this common sense logic of how the hell is Miami so far behind Notre Dame, like, I think that's going to matter, and I think it's going to make me aware. But I think the committee's going to hear this. Like, they're going to go in week after week re-looking at this, like, what are we missing? Are we missing? Do we have this wrong? And I think ultimately there might be a point where they say, you know what, maybe we do. And then if you put Miami over Notre Dame, maybe you do get a second Big 12 team in, or whatever else. It's funny, I tried to bet Notre Dame at 11-1 yesterday, and at a site, and I was allowed $0.00. So maybe that's a sign that maybe that bet's live.
Yeah, no kidding. How high are you on Texas Tech? Like how if they?
I think.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, like, can they make the title game? Could they play with everybody in the country, maybe with the exception of Ohio State, or could they even play with them?
I think they can. I think they're really good. And the funny thing is, like, you think back to the Texas Tech that we've known all of these years, and it's been Mike Leach and Cliff Kingsbury, wide open offense. They're the top-rated team in defensive efficiency in the country. I mean, Jacob Rodriguez should be winning Butkus and multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards. And the great thing is they've done it with, like, backup quarter. They did it with Hammond for a while. They've done it with Morton. Remember, their best running back got hurt before the year. But this is a team that went in hard in the portal, and good for them. They built up a defensive line. They have been dominant. Granted, they don't have a ton of great wins. The non-conference wasn't that good. But this is where you kind of have to draw the line between strength of schedule, eye test, quality, and all that stuff. You watch them play. They are really, really good defensively, and I can't wait to see if they get a home game in the first round, or even better, if they get one of those first-round buys. But no, I think Texas Tech is very live to at least get to the title game.
No kidding. Do you like anything tonight? Can you make the case for UMass?
Ooh. Oh, that's a That is asking a lot. That's asking a lot right there. The one thing I did look at this week that I do like I don't think Michigan should be a 13.5 point favorite over Maryland at all. You're down Justice Haynes. You're down Marshall, the other running back. You got Ohio State coming in next week. Your passing game isn't necessarily great. Maybe the Terps get a little bit of a bump from the Loxley news. So while I don't have a play for you tonight, there's something I'm looking at for the weekend, taking Michigan plus the points. And I don't know how hearty your appetite is for an ugly dog, but I don't think Jeremiah Smith or Carnell Tate are going to play this week for Ohio State. We've seen that number move down to 31.5 already. I guess the question is, how much further down is it going to go? And can you take Rutgers?
Very good. Yeah. Bear, that was awesome. Thank you so much for the time. We appreciate that.
Anytime, guys. Be well.
There you go. Chris Felica, Fox Sports, and the Bear Bets podcast. Up next, don't look now, but they became the 11th team in NBA history to lose 6 games in a row by 15-plus points.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Check out Stormy and JVT on Money Moves, only on VSiN.
And maybe that's why they wouldn't, because they're the Giants and they don't do things that make sense.
Out of all these divisions, this is the one that I am the most curious about because I do think there are positive signs for the Bears.
They'll take you on a fun, fast-paced journey, weaving in everything you need to know to make an educated bet, while also not shying away from the excitement of a same-game parlay sweat. Money Moves, weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Monday Night Football, first touchdown, CeeDee Lamb, 7-1. Safety, 10-1. Both quarterbacks, 25 completions, 5-1. Other than that, some of those player specials that Caesars and Will Hill didn't hit because you couldn't get any help from the Raider players, especially nothing from Genty. How about this? In the mother of all bad spots, the Bulls off double overtime the previous night in Utah go into Denver and win. 5-1 on the money line. Whoa, what a performance.
Here's the thing. They were also blowing Denver out in the first half.
Yep.
And somehow they'd never won the first half money line. And you're thinking, okay, now it's going to correct itself. Denver's going to blow them out.
Yes.
Nope.
Wasn't that something? Big lead, Denver makes a run. Big lead, Denver comes back. But then the Bulls always hit every run and then would answer and got the win.
I will say, if you want to vomit, go look at the Denver bench last night.
Yes.
They gave them nothing.
That's right. Vancouver, 10 overs in a row. How about that job last night? 8-5. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. You guys have been great, sending stuff in every single day. Here's our friend McKillicuddy on the green. He owns a sports Irish pub in Vermont. He goes to spot Seminole outside Fort Myers on a regular basis. 5 times on dollars, he gets aces and a kicker. He got dealt the full house. Did he get? Oh, my mistake. Yeah,
he was dealt aces, 2 aces.
Oh, my fault. Yes, and it came ace 2, and that's $10,000.
Yeah, because of the super happy times right there. Paid the 5 times, like you said. Yeah.
And this one's going to sting you a little bit. This is what happened to you, and this is what should have happened to you. He got dealt aces and a kicker just like you did, and he got it 10 times. And that's, I believe, $24,000. Hard to see the screen, but is it?
Yeah, it is $24,000. Yeah.
Dollars. He's on triple play. You got it dealt on 10?
So I have rarely ever played this game, but a couple of weeks ago, I'm killing time. So I played a little bit of this. It's Super Happy Times?
Super Double Times.
Super Double Times. I'm getting Seinfeld mixed up with this. Super Terrific Happy Hour. But I was dealt 4 threes and a kicker.
Yes.
And I never got the Happy Times.
Get it. It's supposed to. It's supposed to spin then once you get, if you get like our buddy in the Midwest, he got dealt the Royale with cheese. It's supposed to be 20. It's supposed to go 10, lock it up, do 10 again. I've seen it numerous times.
Wow. Okay.
And here it's, he got it. Imagine that. It's dealt and here comes the 10. Oh, keep him coming. And he's the guy who hit the 12,000 a couple weeks ago as well. How about this guy? Yeah, I'll get your favorite tune here. Here comes Whitney Houston. Here it comes. Get into it, big fella. There you go. Yes. Carrying a tune and a note. Goes on for a minute.
She is singing his language.
Right. When Whitney Houston hits the tunes and the big high notes, he's right there. Good job by the Bulldog. Excellent. How about this guy? Look at the puppy. He took the human's neck pillow and made it to a portable bed. Just coming in. I take it. Okay, this is mine now. And good night. That's it. Lay down.
How small is that dog?
I know.
Pound and a half? 2 pounds?
I know, right. Snowball? Runs on batteries, right? Look at him. That thing, yeah. That is, he's tiny. Grabs the portable grabs the neck pillow, portable bed, and he's out. Excellent. Well done. Bad for the books. Cowboys, Raiders under 51 down to 47. 47.5, fell 49. That leads us to a bad beat. If you had over 50 or 51, CeeDee Lamb wide open. They don't kick the field goal. Then they take over 1st and goal. It's outside the 2-minute warning, mind you. And 3 knees out of Schottenheimer. And how many guys? That's just, I think it might be the only guy who does that in that situation.
First time it's happened to the same team twice in a season since 2015.
Wow.
It might happen to the Raiders again.
Yeah. Well, it's not like it was 40-0 though either. And then this was bad. Oklahoma City laying 17.5 or 18. So they're up 22 with 40 seconds. Okay, no big deal. Pelicans hit a 3. Then OKC takes the shot clock violation. The guy for the Pelicans laid it in with 1 second left.
Yep.
Oh, come on. We have an agreement. That's ridiculous.
I wondered, did the coaching staff never go over that with him?
You don't do that.
Of course you
Start
don't.
a riot.
That's no feel for like the history of that spot
bad.
right there.
Oh, I'd be livid. For the line move, sharp plays already there. They don't just follow the market, they help move it. Powered by advanced AI, trusted insider sources, active across all sports. They deliver the edge serious bettors use every day. Free reports, alerts, market-moving insights, straight to your inbox or X-Feed at it since 2011. Trusted by pros, watched by the books. Sharpplays.com. Stay ahead of the line.
All right. So the Opta AI projections that you can get every single day, VSiN.com/NBA props, they were 26-12 last night.
Right.
That was actually, check that. That was the NFL. 26-12 in the NFL. You can get them every week. They're both available. The NBA is VSiN.com/NBA props. NFL is VSiN.com/NFL props. And they were 26-12 in the Monday night game. That's a great night for them. And I will pay off the tease here, Paulie. Do you know what team it is that has lost?
Is it the Pacers?
It is.
It is? Wow.
Indiana last night, they were a Tyrese Halliburton injury away from him winning the entire thing.
Uh-huh.
Became the 11th team in the history of the sport to lose 6 games in a row by 15-plus points. And that was Detroit taking them out in a body bag. Yeah. And this story with Detroit is getting better and better. And they play in a back-to-back and a belly-to-belly tonight.
Yep, thanks to everyone who sent the tweets in. 5-1, 1 seed. I still think that's a good bet. And the division number has gone bye-bye. They keep winning games. Hard to believe Indiana's only win was against the Warriors. What the hell happened there?
I know.
That was bizarre. LeBron's supposed to make his debut tonight. Season debut. LA's a big favorite against the Jazz. And a right tough spot for Detroit here. But this is a Malinsky special. I count it.
For Atlanta, yeah.
Atlanta off the 4-game road trip, and they're back. And plus, they're playing great ball, especially defensively without Trae Young. That's great.
229 too high for a total? But all these teams are playing so fast now compared to previous years.
Right. I finally saw one battle after another.
Oh, it took you 2 months. Okay.
Okay. I give it a B+, maybe a little high, but it was also hard to live up to the hype when so many people were saying it was the best movie of all time.
That's what I heard that the entire week before it actually debuted. I'm like, okay, now because I already bought tickets. And then they kept playing the previews over and over. And then you have like Steven Spielberg saying, oh my God, I've watched it 3 times. And others are like, it's the best movie of all time. I'm like, okay, knock it off. But I already had tickets, so I went to the movie. It was good. It's unique. I've never seen any movie like it, I don't think.
There are 3, there's more than that. But they're credible performances.
I would agree with that.
DiCaprio, Sean Penn is the favorite to win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah, you could see that coming from a mile away.
Del Toro's awesome. I mean, it's just when they break him out of jail, and let's take a selfie. Come on. I mean, he's so calm, cool, and collected in the scene in his house as well when DiCaprio's freaking out.
DiCaprio's losing his mind for like a 20-minute stretch, and it's awesome. And here's Del Toro just like, chill, bro. Like, it's going to be all right.
Bob, take it easy. Have a beer. Come on. So this was 10-1 before it came out to win.
The week it came out?
Yeah, now it's minus 250 to win the Best Picture.
Well.
And Anderson's a higher favorite than that for a Best Director.
I wouldn't know about any of the other movies. It's the only one I've watched.
Wow, it absolutely destroys Sinners. I can tell you that. Yeah. I was disappointed with Sinners.
Let me throw this at you, because we're talking yes-no playoff odds right now in college football. It looks like the Hard Rock, in states where you have that access to that book, they have the best numbers available. They got Miami plus 375 to make.
All right.
They also have Ole Miss 13-1 to miss.
All right.
FanDuel's at plus 1040.
Wow.
And the other one...
they don't even have it on DK. DK does have Notre Dame, though, 11-1 to miss.
Yeah, it looks like Hard Rock and some others have 12-1 on Notre Dame to miss.
Here's the easy out for them. If Miami struggles or isn't impressive against Pitt, that's one they'll say common opponent. Miami closes at Pitt.
Yeah, true.
After Notre Dame just took them out. But this is bizarre where it's... Certainly we're not... We see brand name bias all the time, but to say, wow, they have 2 great losses. I mean, come on. You can't ignore the head-to-head. I mean, finally, people are waking up and realizing this can't be.
How do we have it where there's a big push to keep Miami out, and maybe that's now ending, like you said, but that's going on simultaneously with a push to keep Texas in?
Yeah. I had shut the game off by this point because it was such a blow-up, but apparently you were told this, and people tweeted it, that the Herb Street the whole time was making the case for Texas. About if they can beat Texas A&M that early game on Friday, Black Friday. It's like, sorry, but no, you'd be 9-3. You lost by 25 points. You haven't been impressive. You've been a major disappointment. You're not getting in and jumping all these other teams. And Oklahoma's win really changed things.
Ole Miss 13-1.
Oh, this is
to miss. That is intriguing.
Yeah. They lose the game, and this is the distraction. This is the number one distraction thing. Is our guy even going to be here?
I think the committee absolutely must take that into consideration. If they lose to Miss State and he's gone, at that point they have to talk about that for a long time, whether or not they should actually put that team in.
I'd be very surprised if he coaches the playoff game.
Up next, VSiN.com NHL betting analyst Jonathan Davis on the program. He has a trend that is up